Okay, rice is gone from meal 2, 3, 4. Oh, lads, I very potentially, more than likely, just lost all of yesterday's video and everything that we had recorded this morning. But I'm not going to let it get to me because life's too short. I am just about to put in post-density, after a very good fasted session, my cream of rice. And it is Tuesday, so you're up to date pretty much across the board. Yesterday we had check-in day. There was a lot going on, to be fair. I would love if that footage is there, but if it's not, it's not. This will be the most updated video that you will see. But great session went in this morning. And again, last couple of days have just been recovery mode, to be honest. Recovery mode and sorting out my gut. So I'm going to have to do a full debrief on that if we haven't got the footage. I have a software there to see if I can get the footage back, but if I can't, I can't. It is what it is. We will crack on as normal. Really good session. I'm really enjoying the fasted sessions because my energy in the morning is just absolutely through the roof compared to what it is, you know, as I get into the afternoon. Also, check-ins, Tuesday check-ins wrapped up for the day, which is fantastic. And we're cracking on. The cream of rice stays the same. I'm on a meal plan now. I made a meal plan. Keane is just going to start pulling away from it. He's happy with the meal plan and he's just going to start pulling from it as we make adjustments to food. I didn't do cardio this morning. Yesterday's steps, if we don't have the video, we're down. So I only did about 11,000 steps yesterday. I had the recovery boots and everything on. Yesterday was just trying to fucking like get inflammation off. My 2 legs in yesterday's check-in were like 2 balloons. It looks like the quads have just fallen off me. There was absolutely no detail, no anything. And yeah, the post-workout shots, I look good. To be fair, like fullness and everything was very much still there. But we woke up yesterday morning at 82.1 kilo. I was 79.9 about over a week ago. So, you know, we need to get that sorted. Weight needs to be on the move. Do you know what I mean? We can't be, you know, having issues with our gut now at this point and having issues with inflammation. Like, yeah, inflammation is going to be there, but inflammation was stupidly high. Like, Sunday, the steps ended up at like 25,000. You know, just from what I was doing, I was helping one of the lads, and like, that's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? So we pulled back on the steps yesterday. We put a big emphasis on the diet yesterday as well, which we will go deep into. And woke up this morning, didn't do cardio, which was nice, and chilled yesterday evening just that little bit more. Had a really good sleep. Also putting a bigger emphasis on sleep. I put in dream sleep for the first time in a long time as well last night. A full serving of dream sleep, and I slept pretty much through the night. I got up once and I woke up nice and fresh this morning, to be fair. I was expecting to wake up a little bit groggy from the ingredients in it. Ashwagandha, I'm going to just trial it now for a while and see how we respond from it, because I want to have a big emphasis on sleep and obviously recovery. So, up to date, we're here with the post-workout meal, the cream of rice, and a big emphasis on the diet gone in over the last couple of days through our veg, through, you know, how much fibre is going in, more than anything, just like having a look now over the next couple of days at the finer details, you could say. You know, the little nitty-gritty things, and I'm on top of them across the board, but you know, just having that little bit of a deeper look into making sure everything's in order, so we can, you know, make sure that we're seeing the body weight on the scales moving in the direction it needs to be moving and not blurring what's happening with the physique. You know what I mean? So we're ahead of ourselves and we're not falling behind from stuff that could be going wrong when it doesn't need to be going wrong. If we can just nip it in the bud, get that sorted. But we had a really good session. I'm going to take a bite of this because I'm absolutely starving. Danielle's also here with me. She's cooking eggs for herself this morning. An omelette, I think. But very, very good session. Obviously, fasted. I'm getting used to it. The body's adjusting to it. But energy is really good. Like, RDLs move really well. I recorded my set of RDLs. Just main thing for me now is eking out numbers. Like, I'm still eking out good numbers the last 2 weeks. Again, from going to fasted sessions. I haven't done all my sessions fasted, but you know, going in, and it's a big tip for you if you're dieting especially, like, again, you've no excuse if you're in a gainer phase, but you can start to, you know, develop those excuses when you're in a diet. Going in there with the intent of building muscle, you know, and creating that demand for you to build muscle. Because to be fair, I'm in a position right now still, not for much longer probably, where I can take away those progressions, you know, and recover. If I can recover properly from them, I can still continue to move, you know, I can still continue to grow that tiny little bit, you know. Obviously, I'm, as someone asked as well in one of the videos, I'm not natural either, so we do have that little bit of assistance going in there as well behind us. So I'm, you know, main priority is obviously maintaining that muscle. You know, I don't have that much muscle there to fucking like be losing loads of it. So our big emphasis on maintaining that muscle that I do have throughout the entirety of this prep, and obviously not losing any either. So going in there with the intention of coming out having grown through that session. 1, you're going to maintain that muscle, if not build a small little bit. 2, you're going to burn more calories, which isn't the sole idea behind training and going into the gym, obviously, but it's just another thing to take note of. You know, you're going to have create a better demand for more food. You're going to be able to eat more food. You know, food isn't going to have to get that low if you are utilizing your training as you should, you know, that kind of way. I'm going to get the rest of the post-workout meal in because I'm absolutely ravenous. We've got banoffee flavoured cream of rice. We have sweet and salty popcorn, and then we have our usual frozen raspberries, frozen blueberries, which have come down a small little bit, So we're going to have to do another full day of eating. Tomorrow is a rest day. There was a full day of eating as the rest day last week, but we're going to have to do a training day, full day of eating this week to show you exactly what the diet is like now, the way it's set up, and see what result we get from that, you know, see what way digestion is, see how things are moving. I did have a really, really good movement. Probably a little bit too much information, but I'm showing the detail this morning after my coffee, after I've been up for a little bit, and it was the best movement to prep so far. So all going well. Scales will be down again tomorrow. I was yesterday 82.1, today 81.6. Tomorrow hopefully we'll be back down again and we'll start to see inflammation coming back. I'm just waiting to hear back from Keane to see exactly what he wants me to do in terms of steps today. Obviously no cardio this morning. Cardio will probably be back in tomorrow. We'll see. It's hard to know. We're just taking it day by day, getting ourselves back in order. Not that we were not in order already, but just listening to orders. You know, it can be hard when you're in that mindset of just go, go, go the whole time, in terms of like, right, this cardio needs to be ticked off. These steps need to be ticked off, which, again, I usually shaft myself in terms of the steps just with what I'm doing on a daily basis. Food needs to be absolutely nailed. Nothing's changed in terms of like the amount of food that we're taking in. It's just the food sources. It can be a little bit hard, but I really needed it. You know, pulling back on the steps yesterday, no cardio this morning. Legs are tired because typically when you do pull back, your body's going to be that little bit more tired before it gets fresh again. But we're just going to have to see over the next couple of days. I am checking in with Keane again for the second check-in tomorrow, a little bit earlier, so we'll be able to see exactly how things are looking. I wish and hope I do have the footage to be able to show you what way we were looking yesterday, but we're just going to have to see. We'll get the post-workout into us and we'll see where the rest of the day takes us.
I'll do my nail desk stuff on Sunday.
Where is it? The desk. Didn't even touch the sides of that. I could go straight in for meal 2 now, but big thing with that, and big thing with food as well, right? After you eat a meal, as the diet progresses, okay, you're going to be hungry. And that meal that you eat is probably not going to satisfy you, right? Fair enough. Give yourself 10, 15 minutes, even though you're still really hungry after the meal, to just let the brain realise that it's had the food, you know, that kind of way. I'll be fine now again. Finish my cup of tea, that'll fill me up that little bit more. Fluids is going to be a big thing for you as well, you know, like the amount of fluids that go in for me fasted before any food hits the system every single day is huge, you know, and it's a big thing that I deal with clients is like struggling to get that water intake up. It's something you just need to train yourself to do. You know, Danielle's sitting across from me there. A lot of the time, her first sip of water is when she's fucking going to sleep at night, you know, and it's just getting her to do better. Well, ever since I got her to Stanley, to be fair, she has been taking that to work and usually drinking a full one. Or not, do you?
Yeah, I do.
You do, to be fair. Coming into the summer, just getting more salt in the diet as well. You know, salt is a big thing for thirst. Salt is a big thing for hydration. You know, you're more salt in the diet, you see how much I put in there. I'm drinking a lot of water during the day, you know, and I'm hydrated. Salt plus water will equal hydration. That was a shower, you know, and you just do not want to get out of it. But we're heated up now again. Body temperature is back to normality. That's all you need. And all those clips from yesterday's full video, all clips from this morning, density, pre-workout are gone. But I'm not gonna worry about it. It is what it is. We're still gonna be bashing out the daily, lads. It's just we're missing a day, but we're so up to date. It's not gonna feel like we missed anything. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to use today to run through why the physique is going backwards, why we're not responding. And it's not a big deal. It's nothing for us to stress about, because if I stress about it, it's going to be worse. You know what I mean? Feedback just back in from Keen there on what to do today. Obviously, we didn't do cardio this morning. Just 10k steps again today. So we're going to have not much movement for the rest of the day. I had the dog walked this morning, which was ideal. I'll get him out for another couple of steps. I have about 6,000 done. 6,100 steps done for the day, and it is 1 o'clock in the day as well. So just been moving around the house, obviously inside in the gym, walking the dog. Just you know yourself, just getting the steps racked up. It's very hard to keep steps low. You know, obviously the walking pad has been parked up for the last 2 days, but we're getting a coffee in. And I'll show you really quick what the meal plan looks like, because I built these meal plans yesterday, and that's just what we're going to be sticking with. And then when Keen makes an adjustment, he's just going to go into the meal plan. Back. Okay, rice is gone from meal 2, 3, 4, 5, lad. I basically have all my tabs pinned here as well. So I have my check-in sheet, I have my training day meal plan, I have my rest day meal plan now tabbed. So I can just get in there and have a quick glance, and it's going to be like clockwork. There's not going to be any MyFitnessPal. There's not going to be anything. It's just going to be clockwork every single day. Hopefully that's in focus. So we have training day meal plan here. Firstly, 6 meals. We have cream and rice, chicken and rice, egg white and rice. Lads, get on that one. Beef mince, turkey burgers, and then the creamy for meal number 6. And then very similar setup on rest days. We have eggs and egg white in the morning, no carbs with meal 1 on a rest day, absolutely fine. We have chicken for meal 2, which is going to be a chicken salad with pineapple, and then we have cream rice going in meal 3. Again, with rest days, again with all the days, I could potentially move things around a small little bit, which is absolutely fine depending on the given day. And then we have mince and rice again, we have turkey burgers and rice and pineapple, and then we have the creamy final meal there as well. And that's going to be the setup for moving forward. Not something I've ever really struggled with before. You know, naturally when you're on lower food, you know, going through the diet, not for everyone, am I even in focus here? Not for everyone, but, you know, the amount of times you're going to the toilet and everything like that isn't going to be as frequent as when you might be in a gain phase. There's a lot more food going through, and good food, right? And even though my food is really good, we just want to be cautious of too much fibre going in, you know, and just getting that right over the next week, because I just don't want to have to worry about like digestion, problems with the gut, when all I want to be worrying about is just ticking my boxes every single day. You know, same goes for seeing the scales. I just want to be able to see the scales moving, you know, the way it should be moving, you know, that kind of way. So we're going to crack on, see what the week looks like. Next couple of days, 10k steps today. We'll see what he says in terms of cardio tomorrow. I must actually ask him if we're doing cardio tomorrow. But editing for the rest of the day, feed up or get the boots on again later on this evening. We'll show you a couple of the meals. I have the meals pretty much prepped for the majority of the day, which is ideal. So when I want a meal, I just eat it, heat it up, get it in. And we also have a monster at some point this afternoon for the pick-me-up, even though this is my second coffee. I'm doing most of the time, not all the time, 2 coffees. So 2 coffees now today. I just need this pick-me-up to get me through the next little block, and then we'll do Monster later, and that'll be it in terms of caffeine. There's no sweeteners in the diet. Like the only sweetener is like Coke Zero, Monster, I suppose, and then cinnamon is the only thing that I'm having. You know, there's no like fucking flavor drops. I hate those flavor drops. I don't know how people have them in the coffees and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, there might be some nice ones out there, but I don't like them, the ones that I've had at all in the past. So we're just going to keep it simple. Really, really simple, low FODMAP diet. My onions I've pulled out. Pulled out onions. I think onions could be the thing that was causing the gas, the heavy gas. And if it means not having Danielle given out to me for serious gas, not having onions, then so be it. Onions can go back in post-prep at some point, but we'll see. We've got it all ahead of us, lads. We've got it all ahead of us. Yesterday, we had a blue one, an ultra blue, but you missed it. I just had to enjoy it by myself. We've got the Ultra Paradise today, and I'm absolutely buzzing. She is ice cold. Obviously, we've been doing the protein reviews, but there's a couple of monsters that I want to get my hands on. Mr. Calvin Murphy has been doing a lot of taste tests on monsters, but I really want to. I seen he had it the other day, and he gave it a bad review. Well, unless they've changed the formula, lad, I absolutely loved that ultraviolet before, the purple one, and he wasn't a big fan of it, but I used to absolutely love it. So I must actually go back onto his TikTok, see where he got it. I love when the can has the black lid for whatever reason. It is 3:30. This is going to put me on for another while, and it's the latest time I'd like to be putting in. The ease of these egg whites, lads. In here I just have literally my one whole egg and my egg whites. Get these in little. Take another portion of the rice for today, so that's all the rice for the day, and then just whack that in there. Obviously the bread is now gone, lads. The bread is gone because just wasn't getting much bang for my buck. And you know what this is like? This is like if you've ever had from an Indian takeaway. The only thing I've ever had from an Indian, I think, to be fair, is a biryani. It's just missing the meat. So that's something I must try, is like having this with like chicken or prawn or something like that. That would be absolutely delicious. That's what you get for a finished product. I'm telling you, lads, give it a go. Egg and rice. It's like egg fried rice. Like special fried rice. Is that what it would be like? Just without the meat from the Chinese. And then we get our mustard and a little bit of ketchup in on top there now. And we'll be good to go. You know, obviously I'm talking a lot about the diet today, changes through my diet and everything. When to make changes to the diet, especially when you're cutting. You know, fat loss might slow down, fat loss might have stalled, like you see there for me this week. You know, just switching out different things in the diet or taking stuff out of the diet. You obviously want to be seeing things happening fairly quick. You don't need to be seeing the scales moving every single day of the week. It's not going to happen. But you never want to go too long without seeing things moving if you want the fat loss phase to, you know, continue on moving fairly quick. You know, if you're looking to lose around 1 kilo a week, a lot of people will be trying to lose around 1 kilo a week. Like, fat loss is stalled, you haven't lost any weight. I would leave it longer than a week before you actually make an adjustment. You know, if things have been moving along fairly smoothly so far and weight loss has been fairly, you know, consistent, leave it a little bit longer than a week. If things aren't moving, again, we have the option of adding, you know, more expenditure through steps or through cardio. But if we're looking solely at the diet, you could look at just pulling away, you know, depending on where your fat is, first and foremost, you could look at pulling away 5 grams of fat plus maybe 20 to 25 gram of carbs. That's going to pull away, you know, a handy close to like 150 calories, which is a good adjustment. You know, for a lot of people, calories aren't going to be that high. The higher your calories, you know, the bigger adjustment you're more than likely going to make every once in a while. So leave that in play then until fat loss stops again, or you're getting like closer and closer to when you want to be finished, you know, that kind of way, and you need to speed things up that small a little bit more. So it's just a case of like seeing what's going on. I have a bit of a habit today. Every time I go to eat something, I stop for about 10 minutes to chat, but that's what it's all about. Scenes, lads. I'm looking forward to seeing what the legs look like now tomorrow. We had these on last night. We have them on again this evening. Ending the day as we always do. As long as that stays around, we'll be sane, lads. We'll be sane. But guess what I just spent doing the last little while? And I actually put a lot of detail into it, and I'm hoping that she does it and take it on board, because coaching in a relationship, we've done it before, we've done it in the past. We're going to see how it rolls around this time. I think Danielle having goals to herself again, you know, she's not bad or anything in terms of nutrition, but you know, having that train and that drive to train with a proper training plan, proper meal plan in place now again, coming into the summer, you know, for herself, you know, having actual goals, you know, especially being around me, you know, being so tunnel vision with the shows at the moment, having like direct goals for herself. So it's not like, as I was explaining to her in our onboarding video, for the coaching process to work with her, it's just going to be, right, I sent her on everything as I do with a normal client. In terms of check-ins, just doing check-ins as we normally do, give her check-in day for the week. And it'll be interesting to see next couple of weeks. She'll be a little case study for me on here, how she responds, what we can basically do with her leading into show number 1. That's what I gave her. I said, look, show number 1, this amount of weeks away from me, this is what we want to be in that position for, you know, and have that goal there for yourself. Holiday here potentially in and around the year. Right, I said, look, we have this amount of weeks to show number 1 for me. Right, that's a good thing for you to start working towards. We have a couple of weeks there, back into fat loss. Right, show number 2. Okay, then we can start going through the reverse process. Right, you can start then, for the first time ever, start looking at actually building the physique, spending time building the physique, having, you know, a reason and actual goals in the gym to actually have that want to be in the gym. Spending this amount of time, right, or the full timeline laid out for her every single week over the next year of what it'll look like, so that we can just keep that going this time, keep that momentum there. So it's not just a case of like being on it for a couple of weeks leading into summer, then, you know, shit gets in the way and she's all of a sudden just like, you know, back in that cycle consistently again, like a lot of us do, you know, that kind of way. But that'll be one thing to check back in on in a couple of weeks, and I'll keep you updated, see how she gets on. She'll be a good one. We have here sweet and salty popcorn, creamy. Right, now I do have my cinnamon mixed in on top as usual, but this is a naughty little one, lads. I had the first one probably 2 nights ago. I do also have a supplement order on the way. Not loads of stuff, but a few nice little bits for us to try. Some new proteins, some new cream of rice also as well. I'm out of one of my cream of rices. One fucking little race car, and just a couple of other bits and bobs in terms of supplements. But yeah, that wraps up. I'm excited for tomorrow's check-in. You're going to have to check back in tomorrow to see what way the last couple of days have gone in terms of no cardio today. Just 1 day off cardio and then 2 days with lower steps. Steps, to be fair, still would have evened out to be the exact same, probably still more across like an entire week with what steps I did basically last week. But it was nice to just get the legs rested that little bit more, and we'll go again for cardio in the morning. So we'll be back at it. We'll see where body weight's at. We'll see what Keane says. Obviously check in 1 day in advance this week, and I know we lost all the footage from this morning, from yesterday's video, but it is what it is. We're not going to whinge about it, you know what I mean? We're still showing up here on the daily. I've got loads more coming for you. I'm excited for the next couple of weeks. As always, do drop the video a like. Subscribe, lads, if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not leaving without giving you a little taste test. Anyone who's finished their food for the day and needs to get a little bit of enjoyment, I'll also put my little few melted, you can't even see them, blueberries on top here, and then I have my 85% dark chocolate, which will go as well. This is a little bit, I only made these this morning, but they're not as frozen as they usually would be, but still, nonetheless, lads, that's literally just whey and water, and then I have my cinnamon mixed in. The sweet and salty popcorn is one that you need to try. Definitely one that you need to try. Cheers.